Good morning, everyone. It is approximately 3:30 a.m. EST here on the East Coast of the U.S., coming at you live and direct from the farms on South Carolina. We are off the grid, and we are certainly off the chain. For all those that like to join me, that is fine. Thank you for showing up, Sumpche Demon. And I will tell you guys before I get into the content that I'm about ready to put out. My main man, Sumpche Demon, has a channel. Please go check him out. Leave a like. And if you are really digging the content that my main man, Sumpche, is putting out, please subscribe to his channel. Because he's not across the banner on my thing. We have a whole team. I say we, meaning several of us. We have a whole team that puts out a plethora of content across a plethora of games. The word plethora means many. Okay? So the thing is, go check him out and dig it out. So I have many more people. It only allows me to list 5. So I was not able to put Sumpche across the top. But I do a lot of stuff with Sumpche, and Sumpche know I love him. Take care of yourself, brother. Love, peace, happiness, shalom. Alright, so let's get right into the content of what I want to get into at the moment. I'm experiencing, I just tested it, at least a 10-second lag. So, and I have no choice of my new internet provider out here. So, let's get into it. I got some old school weapons here. Notice they aren't putting out no Thunder is an iconic weapon. They're not putting out a new Thunder. They're not putting out a what do you call it? Ultimate version of it. They're not putting out Ultimate Terrence because they're still good. But Thunder was the thing back in the day, and they're not putting that out. Let's do another change. It's taking a while. It's taking so long for my hanger to show up. That is retarded. It's got nothing to do with you guys. It's my internet provider out here. And even though we got, now that they opened it up, we got better providers all over the area, but because of where I am, I cannot get better service than what I get. There's no Ultimate Leo. And that's an iconic thing. The Leo is an iconic bot, right? That, and it don't get an ultimate version. You know what I mean? And it only has 3 skins, and the one skin that does help is not winnable. Oh, I do have the koi, right? But it doesn't do anything. There's no +5 koi. There's the +5 hunter, the one that I'm using, and it's only available for 500 gold. Leo is iconic. See, they're not doing iconic stuff. They're doing stuff that they think will be a money grab, and that's what I'm talking about. Let's get into some more old school stuff and see what people think. About the ultimates. It's the ultimates that I'm talking about. There's no ultimate fusion with 3 heavies. Even though they fixed the Fujin to walk now. The Raijin, which is a definitely um, an iconic bot. Still is not able to move when it deploys. The speed of the Raijin has always been hard, but I understand why, because it. Let's look into it more. Because the Raijin provides. Oh man, it just, the lag is so hard. Sorry guys. And this is one of the reasons why I can't show gameplay. Anymore. Because the Raijin provides 2 built-in shields when he deploys, and 40% damaging. 40%, which is excellent. And I understand that the Bastion mode, the 40% damage increase, it needed to be immobilized back in the day. But we're not talking back in the day. We're talking now, where you got stuff that can fly the whole map in one shot and delete somebody across the map with Reapers and blah, 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 blah. We need more balance in the game. And here it is, it's talking about tridents and blah. So here's the thing. Tridents were a thing back in the day, but then they made, when they nerfed the splash damage at the time, the nerf was needed. But they need to bring trident splash damage back. Okay? Because trident is bad compared to all the new stuff, and now needs its splash damage back, because the projectile moves slower. Okay? And I'm sitting here trying to move the game. This is how bad my internet is out here. Yeah, I'm trying to scroll down, but it's taking forever for it to actually react to anything. So I apologize for that. I don't know why that is. Maybe because it's so hot in the building over there. I just opened the building up to let it get fresh air before I came over and did this. I still can't get to the content I wanted to get to. But I'm gonna go to an intermission and try to do more. So thank you for showing up, Samche. I'm gonna take a small break and come back. But like I told you all guys before, check out my main man Samche Demon's channel, and please leave a like. And if you're digging the content that he's putting out, please leave a like, and I will holler back at you soon. I'm gonna take a small intermission because I gotta go over to another building, and I will get back to my stream. Thank you all. Y'all too late. No, stay. me down, sugar. Alright, I'm back and trying to see if I can do what I wanted to do. You don't have to hang out, Samche. I prefer that people check out the content later anyways, because it doesn't always work out how it's supposed to. Same way I hit back, it took like 5 seconds for it to go back. It's the internet connection out here where I'm at. But you notice there's no ultimate thunder. And here's the debate. Here, everybody talks about the death button Griffin. Sorry. The Griffin did get a legendary pilot, but the Griffin itself never got a single thing. And the legendary pilot didn't do too much to begin with. I think that legendary pilot needs a buff. So more people will look for it. I still don't have the scavenger griffin. One of my what we call in the forums a unicorn, meaning the one thing you never had, Tulumba and Pen. And I've always favored the Tulumba and Pen, even though they have a slower reload but more damage than say Orkin and Pinata. The Pinatas always came free half the time. But I know back in the day you didn't get a bot with Pinatas. They came with the Punishers. Let me go to replace this and then I'll look. And then I'll explain it to you what they came with. If I can scroll. If it'll let me scroll down this time. See what I'm saying? It's not showing no weapons. Yeah. Okay. So your bots did not come with Pin or Pinata. They came with Punishers. And while I'm down here on Punishers, I'm going to get rid of them. But they came with Punishers. So the Pin and Pinata always function better in game. So my thing was like, what was my choice? If I did ever use the Pinata over the Pin, it was my first testing of, say, the GI patent. And I would do that. So right now I'm trying on my Freedom Skyros to do a 500 meter rocket build. You know, I said, well, let me do a rocket build. I just did a freeze build on it last time, the freeze rockets, and then I have not tried though my Exodus. Sorry, it will be Exodus Pinata Orkin build. Okay, since the Orkin nerf. So that's why more people prefer the 300 build, because the Orkins were the poo-poo. But they always got over on Orkin build Griffins on my 500 millimeter my 500 meter builds, which were free because or cheaper, because Orkins always cost gold. So you need to buy Orkins with gold, but Tulumbas and Pin were free. Pin and Pinata costed the same much amount of money back in the day. So yeah, I'm really old school, and I don't like people to really know it. And the reason why you asking why I have such an old school weapon here, I'm trying to bring the old school back. The other thing is that the storm does break shields, and I don't want my spears breaking shields just to hit somebody, which the storm does better because spear is actually plasma, which means energy. So it expends more energy to bust a shield than a storm would. And then you got people like, oh, you got spears on my face of them. Well, I got the storm. So that's why I have this kind of build right here. You aren't streaming right now, by the way, Samche. Are you? So, because I don't want to get into nobody else's stream time. So my thing is about ultimates or rip-offs. Okay? Because if you want to get into ultimates, the ultimates are supposed to be built around iconic stuff for guys that know how to play it. But now you got a usable version that you could use in champs, like the Ultimate Orkin. But why they jump straight to the Pulsar and the Ares? That is way later in the game. You notice there's no ultimate shock train. You notice, let me change this up. Maybe I'm able to scroll this time. Oh, my hanger's taking forever just to load. Okay, you notice there's no ultimate hover, and that's way older than the Ares. Notice there's no ultimate Lancelot. That's way older. And I said the Leo. The Leo is iconic. What you want to do, you don't want to do the fringe bots and fringe weapons. You want to do what used to really be something that is iconic. There's no ultimate Carnage with Aegis instead of Ansel. If you want people to really spend money on the game, then you need to do stuff like that. So it has 85,000 Ansel built in. But maybe if you're not going to do an iconic version of it, ultimate version, then change the Ansels over to Aegis. So that more people will use them. And buff the Ansel anyway. There's no ultimate Rhino. And Rhino was very iconic. When Rhino came out, Rhino was trashing everything. Trust me on that. Raijin was always a niche bot. It didn't matter. Because it has to like post up somewhere to snipe or spawn in when Beacon Rush first was introduced. Trust me, there was no Beacon Rush mode. Every mode was either TDM or domination. We didn't have 50 million modes like we got now. We have a lot of different gameplay options now that we didn't have before. Still taking ages for all this stuff to load. Ultimate Kamiho. I love Kamiho. Kamiho is an excellent. Kamiho to me is the best dash bot for any beacon mode. But put up an ultimate Kamiho with 3 or 4 weapons on it. My problem is Pixonic's always looking for the latest and greatest when they can just do a little something to make to keep everybody satisfied that invested in stuff and don't feel like they rip it off at all, while introducing new content and keep it all balanced. Because I realize the presentation of everything has been done better, but it's still the same old, same old. when it comes to the business model on the money making, and that's just hard. Not hard, horrid. In case you didn't hear me clearly. The Natasha is still fine, but its speed needs to be increased. The Doc, all the Gunslinger series, the Doc, they need to be able to just switch now. But back in the day, I understood why it took time, because they had weapons loaded in the rear, you know. And back then, when the game was a lot slower, I understood it. And of course, that back then, if they could just switch every time, it would be bad, super bad. But now, all the gunslingers, see, this what Pixonic should be focused on. You already have a plethora of content. Focus on maximizing that before you introduce the next thing. And I'm going to tell you, Pixonic went back on their word on this one. The player base asked Pixonic to slow down on content release. And they did for a while. And they made the current content better, which helped the game. That's how Pixonic got as big as they got, because they stopped doing the fast releases and fine-tuned everything that they had in the game. Then they went back to their original business model, and yeah, that's why you're swirling the taller drain now, because you went back to the original model. You need to listen to your player base, and when the player base asks you for something, that's what you should try to come to a middle ground, where you at least try to appease your player base and make shit better. I think I can cuss now at this point. So, Gollum. Gollum does not need a buff in the way of weapons, because Gollum is another one of the 3 weapon carriers, but Gollum can't even put a mod on it, which I think is cuckoo. Since you came out with mods and all this other stuff, you need to revisit what you already have. Gollum can still be viable if it had an ability and 3 mod slots. I think that's, instead of looking forward, trying to sell the latest and the greatest, to even bring, you can bring back clientele that have not played for ages. If you open up that kind of idea of, like what I was talking about, the Gollum being 3 mod slots with an ability, that you need, don't reinvent a new something. Get what you got and get your house clean for. That's like you inviting new guests to your house when you just had a party last night. I mean, all your trash from the party last night is still there, and you're not cleaning it up. You're just inviting the next party. Come on, y'all. Because you're trying to maximize what you can get out of something instead of fixing it. And maximizing what you have. Because you have a lot, and you have a lot of potential. So, wow. More ads. Look, I'm looking at my hanger. Here's one reason why my hanger is lagging out here. Because ads are loading. Ads are loading. Well, I'm trying to look through my hanger. That's what I'm talking about, Pixonic. Even the people that you sponsor say, I hate logging in, and have to click through 50 million choices of ads. If I want to look, then I'll look, and then if I want to add, I'll do an ad. And you will make the revenue. You have to please the player base to make that happen, though. That's the problem. So, anywho, it wasn't meant to be a rant. It was meant to be me testing stuff, but I can't even go through nothing right now. The internet out here is so hard, and that has nothing to do with Pixonic. My whole thing is I'm trying to tell Pixonic about the things that they need to look at in the game. There's no ultimate Columbus. There's no ultimate pin. There's no ultimate pinata when you did ultimate Orkin. You know, because that's what they got to run it with, or something else in the same range. So I'm just trying to tell people that stuff should make sense, and if it don't make sense, then it don't make dollars. Love, peace, happiness, everyone. And if you have any questions of me, I will gladly do those questions with you and give you the answers that I think. But mind you, it's always my own personal opinion and nothing more or less than that. Love, peace, happiness. I will see you all out there on the battlefield. One.